Good morning, football friends. Hey, it's Sunday and we've got more games to cover. It is week 13 still in the NFL. Let's get to these leftovers. All right, guys, how was the turkey? How was the stuffing? And better yet, how was the pie for Thanksgiving? Man, did you get all your Black Friday deals? Or are you waiting for Cyber Monday tomorrow? Let me know down in the comments, how was your Thanksgiving dinner? Man, mine was great. I got 2 of them in, and there's still leftovers in the fridge. Anyways, let's talk about these 4 games that were on during Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Wow, guys. Detroit Lions, this was one of those games that they really needed at home on Thanksgiving, national televised game, and it's not going well. I had them at 11-6 at the beginning of the season. That gives them only one more loss for the season to stay at that record that I had predicted them at. Unfortunately, this game upcoming against Dallas now becomes a do or die game because Green Bay really handled the Detroit offense. We were not moving the ball. We did score plenty of points on them. But again, the NFL seems to be a race to 30, and Green Bay got there first. Micah Parsons is going to be a thorn in my side. I hated that trade at the beginning of the year. I continue to hate that trade now. At least we don't have to play him when we play Dallas next week at home on Thursday Night Football. And again, that is a do or die game. The most frustrating thing for me as a Detroit fan coming out of that game was the fact that Dan Campbell continued to go for it on 4th down. The last few years, we've had an offense where you have confidence. It's one thing to have confidence in your team to do it. I don't think you should have the confidence in this team this year. It's not the same team. It's not the same offensive line. You don't have the rhythm down. This looks very much Dan Campbell offense season 1, where they were still finding that rhythm and trying to correct those mistakes. Unfortunately, it's in a year which the rest of your division, aside from the Minnesota Vikings, are really good. We had a chance to come out of this weekend in first place in the division, at least, and it has turned into a nightmare scenario. So, let's just punt the ball, kick the field goal, do the things. You don't have the team you had where you can man up against those people. And all hope that we had with the breaking news late last week, Wednesday, going into that Thursday game, that Frank Ragnow was coming out of retirement to join the team. The savior, the center of that offensive line, was coming back. Jared Goff's favorite man. Only to find out that when he went in to take his physical, he has a grade 3 hamstring strain that will keep him out the rest of the year, and he will no longer be rejoining the team. So as fast as that hopium balloon was filled up, it was deflated faster than a float from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, because Saturday they were done. So Lions, who we drafted in the first round of the NFL draft coming up this year. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Then we had Kansas City and Dallas. Man, I liked the halftime show. Again, I really needed Dallas to lose this game as part of my hopium for Detroit. But I really hate both of these teams. Kansas City looked Kansas City-esque, but Dallas seems to be coming on and playing decent ball. Now, I still feel like Philadelphia is going to hold serve in that division, but Dallas creeping back into those playoff spots is worrisome for me as a Detroit fan. At this point, it's Detroit get in, and everybody else keep losing. the tie, unfortunately, does help Dallas over Detroit as far as tiebreakers because it was against Green Bay. While I always say I love a tie when it comes to Dallas, unfortunately, this one is going to come back to bite me. Kansas City is looking at a 6-6 record. Oddly enough, the same record as the Carolina Panthers. Both teams heading in opposite directions. Kansas City is really starting to show their age. Mahomes, other than backyard ball, I don't think Mahomes can really carry that team the way he has in the past. They're still, I would never count them out because of backyard ball Mahomes. He can scramble. He can get those guys open. And if you can run around out there, you're going to lose a DB or two or a linebacker. Those guys cannot cover for more than 6 or 7 seconds. Once you get into that scramble mode, it's all over. But Dallas went ahead and took that one in the afternoon game. And then I kind of predicted this one, even though I picked Baltimore in the game, that Joe Burrow was gonna go off. And Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are here to say, hey, it's the NFL. Anything could happen. And statistically, they are still alive for the playoffs. But Baltimore and Pittsburgh really need to step up in that division. Cleveland's really the only one out of it in that division, even with Shedeur Sanders coming in as the quarterback now. But with this game, Baltimore just does not look like Baltimore. Lamar still a little shaky. And Cincinnati's defense, they stepped up and stopped them. Did Detroit show the blueprint to see what you could do to stop Baltimore? They're still sitting up there at the top of that division, battling it out with Pittsburgh at the moment. But I think that Baltimore is struggling, and they may be on the verge of a rebuild there as far as some of the other pieces. There was some talks of a head coach, long tenured head coach, may be looking for a change of scenery, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was John Harbaugh. Still wants to coach, and maybe a change of scenery would do him well. And then on the Black Friday game, we got into Chicago and Philadelphia. This game, guys, was crazy. Not that I ever wanted Philly to win this game outright. In my heart of hearts, I didn't want either team to win, quite honestly. But knowing that if Philly won, that helped us in our divisional chase for the Lions. So the Philadelphia Eagles really could have helped me out by winning that game. I understand that they're probably going to hold the number 1 seed. Now, after this game, I'm not so sure about that. But Chicago's got some tough games coming up. They've got to play the Packers twice in I believe it's a 3-week stretch. So Chicago's true colors may be showing. But my worst fears of Ben Johnson going to the Bears and making them good, it took him a much shorter time to figure it out than it did for the Lions. I mean, we had that really rough first season, started the second season, and then started turning it around, where Ben Johnson may have found about 4 or 5 games in what the secret to the sauce is. He took his shirt off, guys. Everybody's getting free hot dogs. Chicago went into Lincoln Financial Field and handled the Philadelphia Eagles in that game. Mind-blowing. Terrible weekend so far in the picks. I went 0 for 4 on those Thanksgiving Day games, guys, but my dinners were 2 for 2. How were yours? All right, now let's talk picks. Nobody's on a bye this week. All the teams are playing. We're going to wrap up the byes next week with the Giants, New England, Carolina, and San Francisco taking their byes in week 14. And then it's full gas all the way through to the end of the season, guys. Here we go. New Orleans taking on Miami. This is a pick'em game. You got New Orleans, like I've said before. They're who they don't even know. They're still trying to find their identity. Miami is just free squares the rest of the NFL season. Mike McDaniels may be a dead man walking there, waiting to just ride out into the sunset. Give me Miami in this game, though. Now, there's only about 2 games that I feel have weight in these leftovers. These are the gems in the leftover games that was the main course of Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And this game, Houston and Indy. CJ Stroud looks like he's going to be making his return to the Houston Texans. And with Daniel Jones being banged up, we're going to see what the Colts really have. This is a division where they've started to run away from it, but with a healthy CJ Stroud and a lot of season left to go, can Houston make a run to come back and try to take that division away from the Colts? I like Houston in this game. Give me the Texans. Then we've got Atlanta and the New York Jets. This game is going to be an absolute car crash. I don't know what to do. Just give me the Jets. Why not? San Francisco and Cleveland. We've got Shedeur Sanders making his second start in the NFL after that win over the Raiders last week. Let's see if Sanders can keep that magic going. Myles Garrett is going to do Myles Garrett things. This guy, I think, is going to break that single season sack record that's held by Michael Strahan and TJ Watt at, I believe it's 22 and a half, and he's on pace to hit 25 or 26 and a half. So defensive player of the year coming right there. But let's see if Shedeur can continue to sling that ball around and take out the San Francisco 49ers. Give me Cleveland in that game. Then we've got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the surging Carolina Panthers at 6-6. Matt Stafford is continuing to play at a very, very elite high level of football. Again, my pick probably to win the MVP for the season. Give me the Rams over the Panthers. Again, another game that is going to be a car crash to watch, and it's probably going to answer a lot of questions as to what may be happening in Jacksonville coming down the stretch run of the season. Jacksonville and Tennessee, I don't know. Tennessee may find a way to get 1 or 2 more wins this season, and this just might be that one. Give me Tennessee in this game. Then we've got Arizona taking on the banged-up Baker Mayfield. He's avoided a serious injury to that non-throwing shoulder, so he may be playing today. It looks like he's tracking that way. Give me Tampa Bay over Arizona. Then we've got Minnesota and Seattle. The 12th man will be there to play today. I don't even know who Minnesota is starting at quarterback, as J.J. McCarthy is in concussion protocol. And let's see, who was that? Carson Wentz is done for the season. He banged up shoulder. So I don't even know. So give me the 12th man in Seattle in this one. Now, the second game that I feel has actual weight to it this Sunday is the Bills and the Steelers. This game, Aaron Rodgers coming back from that fracture in his non-throwing hand. This game is really going to help set up and shape the NFC or the AFC playoff picture. These two teams are there in the playoff picture, but I mean, we've talked about it. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, that division is really going to come down to those two teams. I feel like Cincinnati, it's too much too late for them, unless Baltimore really starts to stumble. Again, they've got a few do or die games coming up, And I have the Bills taking this one. I think Josh Allen handles this game. He can scramble away from that Steeler defense and get, play a little bit of backyard ball if need be. The only thing is Rodgers, he'll hit that smelling salts and whip it 90 yards down the field to, to DK Metcalf. And what are you going to do with that? How do you defend that? It's like they're playing Madden out there. Then we've got Vegas taking on the Chargers. Vegas is in a free fall. I feel like they're going to get rid of their coach at the end of this year as well. Chip Kelly was relieved of play calling duties, and it's come out that he was maybe even sabotaging himself or the team, calling the wrong plays at the wrong time, not putting tagging motions onto plays. A lot of interesting stories coming out of Vegas. The place, it's kind of turning into a real dumpster fire real fast there for Tom Brady and co. But give me the Chargers. They're banged up. They're still hanging in there. I don't know that they're going to take that division like I had predicted in the beginning of the year. That's going to fall to Denver clearly as they are showing their dominance, which moves to the next game. It's Denver taking on Washington, Sunday Night Football from the nation's capital. Give me Denver in this one. Their D is too much. You've got a backup quarterback. Jaden Daniels did return to practice this week after that gruesome elbow injury on his non-throwing arm. Still terrible to watch, but at least he made it back to practice. I don't know that you'll see him in a return to action this year. Depending on where they're at, they may just want to shelf him and protect him for next season. Like I said, give me Denver in this one. And then Monday Night Football, we've got the Giants taking on New England. I think Drake May is going to handle this game. New England also just picked up Craig Reynolds. That's in addition to their running game situation that we had talked about at the trade deadline, that New England wanted to upgrade or add to their running attack. And as a Lions fan, Craig Reynolds, he's been there a long time. We've used him a lot. Great in the return game. He does have some explosiveness, and maybe that may be that 1-2 combination that New England was looking for in the backfield. Give me New England over this game. You've just got Jameis Winston and the Giants YOLO in the rest of their season. What do they have to play for? The draft status. That's about it. And these guys are just out there having fun. So those are the picks, guys. We've got Miami, Houston, the Jets, Cleveland, Rams, Tennessee, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Bills, Chargers, Broncos, and Patriots. Those are the picks. Those are my thoughts. That's been Fourth and Funny. Enjoy your weekend, guys. See you next time.